The office door slammed shut, the sound slicing through the hum of fluorescent lights like a guillotine. I stood frozen, my tie suddenly too tight, my pulse hammering in my ears. "We don't need lazy people like you," my wife Clara had said, her voice sharp as winter frost, her sister Nora nodding beside her like a shadow given flesh. They sat behind the desk, my desk, where I'd built this company from a single laptop in our cramped apartment. Now they were the queens of my kingdom, and I was nothing. The words echoed, each syllable a shard of glass in my chest. How had it come to this? The morning had started softly, deceptively calm. I woke to Clara's silhouette against the bedroom curtains, her auburn hair catching the dawn's glow. She was already dressed, her navy blazer crisp, her movements precise as she packed her briefcase. "Big day," she'd murmured, barely glancing at me. I'd smiled, chalking it up to her ambition, the fire I'd always loved. She and Nora had been working late, planning the transition since we'd agreed to let them take the helm of Apex Solutions. My idea, really. Clara deserved it, I'd told myself. She'd earned it. But there was a distance in her eyes, a flicker I'd ignored for weeks. The way she'd linger at the office with Nora, their whispers cutting off when I entered. The way she'd brush off my questions about the new contracts, saying, "Don't worry, Tom, we've got this." I'd trusted her. God, I'd trusted her. The office was a hive of muted chaos when I arrived. Phones buzzed, keyboards clacked, but the air felt thick, like the moment before a storm breaks. Employees darted glances at me, their eyes skittering away too quickly. I ignored it, as I'd ignored the late-night texts Clara sent to Nora, the ones she'd delete before I could see. I told myself it was stress, the weight of leadership. I told myself I was being paranoid. "Tom, we need to talk," Clara said at noon, her voice clipped as she stood in the doorway of my office. Nora was behind her, arms crossed, her sharp cheekbones catching the light like a blade. They looked like twins in that moment, united in some unspoken pact. I followed them to the conference room, my stomach twisting, though I couldn't name why. The room smelled of stale coffee and polished wood. The long table gleamed under the skylight, and I sat across from them, my chair creaking like a warning. Clara's hands were folded, her nails painted a deep crimson I didn't recognize. Nora's gaze was steady, unyielding, her lips a thin line. I tried to laugh, to break the tension. "What's this, an intervention?" Clara didn't smile. "We're restructuring," she said, her voice flat. "Apex needs fresh blood. People who can keep up." Her eyes met mine, and I saw it. A glint of something cold, something I'd never seen in the woman who'd cried in my arms when her father died, who'd laughed with me over cheap wine on our honeymoon. "Keep up." I echoed, my throat dry. "Clara, I built this place. Every client, every deal." "Was years ago," Nora cut in, her voice like a whip. "You've been coasting, Tom. Resting on your laurels while we've been carrying the load." I stared at Clara, waiting for her to contradict her sister, to defend me. She didn't. Her silence was a blade, sliding deeper with every second. "Clara," I said, my voice breaking, "what's going on?" She leaned forward, her expression softening just enough to twist the knife. "Tom, we need to be realistic. The board agrees. You're not contributing anymore. We can't afford dead weight." Dead weight. The words landed like a punch, stealing my breath. I saw our life together flash before me. Late nights coding side by side, her hand in mine at company galas, the way she'd kiss my forehead when I doubted myself. Had it all been a lie? "Clara," I whispered, "this is us. How can you do this?" Her eyes flickered, a moment of something. Guilt? Pity? Before they hardened again. "It's business, Tom. Nothing personal. Nothing personal." The room spun, the skylight's glare burning my eyes. I stumbled to my feet, my hands trembling. "You're firing me? Your husband?" Nora stood, her heels clicking on the floor. "You'll get a severance package. Be grateful for that." I didn't look at her. I couldn't. My gaze was locked on Clara, searching for the woman I loved, the one who'd promised forever. She looked away, her jaw tight, and in that moment, I knew. This wasn't just about the company. There was something else, something darker. I left the conference room in a daze, the office a blur of faces and whispers. My desk was already cleared, my belongings in a cardboard box by the door. They'd planned this. How long? Weeks. Months. I thought of the late-night meetings, the locked file cabinets, the way Clara had stopped wearing her wedding ring, claiming it was uncomfortable. Red flags I'd painted over with trust. I drove home, the city's lights smearing like tears through the windshield. Our house, our home, felt foreign, its white walls and hardwood floors mocking me with memories. Clara's perfume lingered in the air, sweet and sharp, like betrayal. I poured a whiskey, my hands shaking, and sat at the kitchen table, replaying every moment, every word. Then I saw it, her laptop, left open on the counter. I shouldn't have looked. I knew it even as my fingers moved, clicking through her emails. But I had to know. The truth was there, buried in a thread with Nora, subject line, plan forward. Messages about easing him out, about new leadership, about a merger they'd hidden from me. And then, one line that stopped my heart. Once he's gone, we can be together. Be together. My mind reeled, grasping at fragments. Clara and Nora? No, that didn't fit. I scrolled further, my breath hitching. An email from a name I didn't recognize. Elliot Grayson, a rival CEO. Clara, my love. It began, and my world shattered. Late-night meetings, business trips, her sudden need for space. It wasn't Nora. It was him. The front door clicked open, and Clara's heels echoed in the hall. I didn't move, the laptop's glow illuminating my face like a confession. She froze when she saw me, her eyes widening. "Tom," she said, her voice soft, almost tender. "You weren't supposed to see that." Supposed to. I laughed, the sound raw and jagged. "You fired me, Clara. You betrayed me. And now this. An affair." Her face crumpled, but only for a moment. "It's not what you think," she said, stepping closer. "Elliot. He understands me. He sees what I'm capable of. You were holding me back. Holding you back." My voice rose, cracking. "I gave you everything. This company, this life. You gave me a cage," she snapped, her eyes blazing. "You wanted me to stay your perfect little wife, not a leader." Elliot saw me for who I am. The words burned, each one a fresh wound. I wanted to scream, to beg, to shake her until the Clara I loved came back. But she was gone, replaced by this stranger with my wife's face. I stood, the whiskey glass cold in my hand. "Get out," I said, my voice low, trembling with rage and grief. She didn't move. "Tom, we can work this out." "Get out." She left, the door closing softly, a finality that echoed louder than any slam. I sank to the floor, the laptop still open, its light casting shadows across the room. The company was gone. My wife was gone. But in the silence, a spark flickered. Anger, yes, but something else too. Resolve. They thought they'd broken me. They were wrong. Tomorrow, I'd fight. For my company, for my dignity, for the truth. The game wasn't over. It was just beginning.